Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to Bars and Bells. My name is Lauren.
And I'm Ian.
And this is week 2 of 6 of the next semester of our kettlebell class. Last semester, we were working on those two-handed swings and perfecting them. And now this time, we're working on our single arm swings, cleans, and squats. So stay tuned for more with the kettlebell, which is just off to the side, as we get started in a light body weight warm-up, and then we'll add our bell.
The body weight first. Let's start with our feet in a parallel position, and we'll get to the floor pretty quick. But first, let's warm up those lunge feet with that demi-point or lunge-styled foot down below. Squeeze your standing leg butt cheek to keep that knee nice and straight, and then end up towards the toe tip on that elevated leg. And perhaps roll over. Avoid Charlie horse cramps, but embrace some of that tension as you return to the lunge foot. Let's just do that about twice more. Push the top of the foot forward. Keep the knee facing forward as well. And then for one more time, let's go over the foot. Let's go back to the balls of feet, and then up onto 2 points, and then let's switch it around. And same thing. So while we're on this side, we're trying to grip with those balls of feet on this my left leg with the kneecap facing forward, squeezing your standing leg butt cheek. Then point the toes of the elevated leg there, and perhaps flex on over. And then over to the balls of feet, and then back and forth. Avoid any extreme cramping, but again, appreciate some of the tension required to do that. And as this is my last one, I'll go back to those balls of feet, up on 2 points, and then down. Let's just return that other heel to the floor right away, and then working on those knees, working those knees towards over the toes. To stand up, push those hips forward, give your glutes a good cramp, and as always, you're trying to bring about the tension on your core abs or your shield, and repeat about twice more. In this moment, think pulling your feet from underneath of you or backwards to make room for the ankle bend, and then push through, extending. We might be squatting later today, so again, warming up those ankles for one last time, and then let those heels lift up. Casually let the knees return to the floor and extend the hips through. Back up, make sure your kettlebell isn't in the way, and we'll get right onto those hands. So we'll hinge on the hips, land fingers, calluses, and full hands to the floor. Excuse me. And at the shoulders, shrug them up to the ears. That's an elevating shoulder pattern. Then pull them back down to the hips. Are the blood donations facing forward? Repeating again, elevating or shrugging to the ears. And for the most part of today's practice, we'll be keeping those shoulder blades pulled down to the hips. Then retract the shoulder blades just to pinch a pencil between, and keeping a quiet rib cage, push the shoulder blades apart. But most throughout today's practice, with the kettlebell, the shoulders will be retracted. Now push the floor away, extend those hips through, add a little bit of a shakeout, and push-ups are maybe on the horizon today too, so let's do one extra little wrist drill, making these gorilla-like fists. Particularly it's a peaceful gorilla here. So on the index and middle finger, blood donations facing forward, one hand at a time, open so that the fingers are flush, then gently flex over the wrist, aiming to have the top of the wrist or that watch face place on the hand towards the floor. That is flexibility. Strength, mobility is being able to push into the floor and return it back to stack. Let's repeat that on the other side as we go over. That's flexibility. The strength piece is being able to bring that back home to stack. And just one more time of each. Keep the elbow straight. Maintain that armpit depressed or pull down to your hip. And push into the floor through the knuckles to bring it back. And then just one last time here on the other side. Same effort. Push down. Flick the floor away with the fingers. And for one more quick time on those hands, let's just go back to the original hand shape, landing fingers, calluses, and hands. Is that more open? Does that feel more grounded? I hope it could be. And then right away, let's just go back to the shoulders by hovering the knees. So pull the knees off the floor. Now that we're in our bear hover here, let's do our shoulder blade squeeze together. Then shrug to the ears as in up. Push into the floor, wrapping the blades around the body. And then pull them back down to the hips, and then back together. Let's just switch our circle once so that we go down to the hips, then push into the floor, spreading the blades, then shrug to the ears, return back together, knees down gently, push away. A little bit of weight on those arms and wrists, fire up the core a little bit too. And one last move for me here, let's step into a lunge, out in front. Tuck under that back leg and pull in the femur head on the front hip, creating a cow tip on the hip on the front and a post tuck or a cat-like hip in the back. Then open the leg to the side. Aiming to keep those hips level, let's take a hand across the body. At the head neck, rotate towards looking out over the knee at the side, and then turn the torso to follow. Then hinge on the hip, nice pattern from a get up here. But at the head neck now, let's look to the floor so that your thumb locks in, your nose locks in on your thumb. And then without moving the head, turn the body towards the floor. As we can warm up those squatting hips here too, the bent knee out to the side, try to reach it towards the back wall. Then one more time, let's look over the side with the head, then open through the torso. Let's push the floor away, square up the head and shoulder to the front, and then that leg that follows in. Return underneath and repeat on the other side. So in a lunge again, we'll have a front hip bone pulling in and our back butt cheek pushing forward. Then open that leg to the side, maintaining those level hips with a hand across the body. Rotate to look over the knee, rotate through the rib cage or the torso next, and then hinging on the hip as part of that windmill. Then look to the floor. My right leg is that one that's out to the side, and as I rotate my body towards the floor, keeping my head stable so it doesn't move, move that back knee or the side leg there towards the back wall. Then look over the shoulder, then rotate through the torso, then push away and square the head and shoulders forward, follow with the leg in the front, bring that underneath.
Well, what better way to get started with our kettlebell than to do a plank first to get our abs going and then to do some get-ups. I just think it just seems like a natural progression.
I'm in.
So with our hands gripping the floor here and our shoulders out of our ears, as we talked about earlier, our toes will tuck and we'll lift into our high plank position here. In this position, let's go through the checklist. Hands are gripping, elbows are straight, shoulders are pulled out of your ears into your lats, your butt cheeks are squeezed and your abs are nice and braced. Your kneecaps are pulled up so your quads are engaged and your feet are nice and rooted. We'll press out of this position later for 3, 2, and then knees gently come down. Tipping your tailbone to the back wall or to the ceiling, could you push the floor forward, sending your hips back? Feel that length, and then gently pull yourself back up to that plank one last time. Kneecaps pulled up, butt cheeks squeezed, shoulders pulled down into your lats, abs braced, hands gripping the floor for 3, 2, knees come down, soft landing, give that a little shake, take some time. We'll be performing 4 get-ups here. 1, then the other side, then the first side, then the second side.
4.
I didn't discriminate whether you start left or right, totally up to you. That's why I said side 1 and side 2. So whichever side you're going to pick, and whether it's with a kettlebell or without, that's up to you. We always start down into our cuddle position. So with your cuddle, roll to your back, 2-hand press that bell into that firing range, and let's get set up. Hip drive, pull on elbow. Find your, squishing the bug. Bridge your hips and sweep. Hand will leave the floor. We're in that lunge position, using the force, pushing forward and back to stand up tall. And then repeat that pattern on the back down. It's a lunge. Open. Windmill rotation. Stack those shoulders, then sweep. Find the elbow. Slowly progress to your back. Let's pull our bell down. Return it to the floor. And we'll switch. Same thing on the second side. If that get up felt good, with or without a bell, do the same thing on the other side. Rolling to the firing range. Hip drive, pull, find your hand, bridge, sweep, press the floor away. We're looking forward when we lunge and using both legs to help us up, and then continuing that pattern, back down, rotating around the bell, sweeping through, finding your elbow, and pressing away to your back. Pull the bell down, return it. Let's do one more time each side.
Get-ups are so nice. You got to do them at least twice. And oftentimes that second time is a little bit easier. So grab a bell, or as Lauren said, with that body weight, let's start in the cuddle and repeat one last time. Cuddle roll and our 2-handed press. We're set up and we'll drive the hip to the elbow, looking at the bell, transition to the tall sit. It's a beautiful bridge and sweep, and press the floor away, square up in that lunge. Full tension to stand. Pull yourself down, squeezing that back butt cheek. Open, rotate, sweep to our tall sits position, then find the elbow, and then under your back. I like the two-hand dismount is again there, and return down. Checking in. A little bit warm, feels good to be under that load. And these aren't just rhetorical questions, or if they are, we're asking you the same thing. But you could write us a note, let us know your favorite part of the warm-up or the hardest part of the get-up. Let us know. Cuddle, roll, and press. From here, it's a hip drive to the elbow. Following that with our tall sit, bridge and sweep. Press the floor away. Square up a lunge, full tension to stand. Pull yourself down, squeezing that back butt cheek. Now look at that kettlebell as we rotate. Find the floor with the hand and sweep through the tall sit. Elbow to our back, two hands, cuddle down. No rules, but again, maybe no hands as we stand up.
So as we progress our kettlebell skills here today, from those lovely get-ups we warmed up with, to our single arm swings. We'll be breaking down our single arm swing today. We did some last week. We'll continue that breakdown, and then we'll progress to our cleans today, as well as some squats. To start our breakdown tonight in our swing practice, we will perform 3 hike passes on one arm, followed by 3 stop swings. So let's step behind our bell as if we're going to swing it. Hinge, grip, tip the bell, pack it into that lat. Next, we're pulling to the zipper and then parking it. Repeat 2 more times. Pull, park 1 last time, pull, park. Now we'll do 3 stop swings. Pull, swing, through, park, repeat. Pull, and park. Last time, and park. Stand up without. Shake out that working arm. Repeat the same moves on the second side. Hip hinge, grip tip, pull, park, pull, park. Last time, pull, park. Here we go, 3 stops. Pull, swing, through, park. Repeat. That plank-like tension at the top of our swing. Feet stay rooted. And then place the bell down and up without. Excellent. In between those, we will be performing some push-ups.
Push-ups. And a great exercise, but often, in our case, not the most often performed exercise. So we'll start with nice low volume.
It'll help with our presses.
And high integrity for those presses, exactly. Let's get to the floor through that toe squat we warmed up with. So with your feet in parallel, bend those ankles and knees. And then make room, lifting the heels to get down. With the hands or without, extend those hips through. Let's find that push-ups place. It's a lot like that plank from before. Let's practice nice low volume here, like 3 or so, but that means that we'll probably be taking our time. So find high tension at the top and pull yourself down for 3, 2, 1, and a push back up. Let's repeat that again. Squeeze your butt cheeks, brace your core, 3 seconds down, and a single repetition or second back up. 1 last time. Slow it down. Keep your chin tuck. Maintain your core brace. Press. Let's just walk back up through that hinge where you'd walk your hands to your feet. Vertical shins. Push the hips through and shake.
Before we get to those cleans tonight, let's put a couple of those swings together in our continuous pattern. We'll warm up for 2 rounds of I go, you go. 5, 5, 5, 5 times
awesome.
2. I'll start first. Did you have something to say?
Follow one of us, not both of us. Give yourself lots of rest. So that Team Lauren, you're going for 5 repetitions of your swing. Appropriate variations could include just 1 deadlift, 2
1-arm
deadlifts,
deadlift.
up to 5. 1-arm deadlifts is what I meant to say. So here we go. 5 swings again.
If you prefer to work on your stop swings as well, you could do that. We're getting 5 continuous swings here, and then we'll do some more push-ups, and we'll introduce those cleans shortly. So keep those swings strong, because ultimately a clean is a swing that ends in the rack position.
That's right. On the swing, we love that strong position out front. On the clean, it's a little bit tighter to the body, a vertical forearm, but the shoulder pack and the grip, the power from the hips stay the same.
Make sure you take that extra time at the beginning to really pack the shoulder. Think about that shoulder connecting to the hip, and that in fact is what's driving the belt forward. These. One more time each side.
There we go. Heart rate's just going, right? The first set might be a little challenging, but settle into that with the slow breath as you recover and that breathing match with that Team Lauren. I can hear you from here and it sounds good. Here we go.
Same thing on that second side. One more set of 5 for us. Team Ian finishing that up here. Take your time, but not too slow. Try to match our pace with those swings. That'll give you the right cadence.
That's right. Ballistic, it's fast, but it's always controlled as well. It's a little bit of a float up front, catch your breath there, and then get right back and load to explode for that last reps.
One more set for Team Ian here. So last set of 5. We are staying loose, shaking out that grip, shaking up the forearms, shaking out the hips where all that power came from. And just taking a couple seconds. Nice big breath in and nice exhale. We'll do one more round of push-ups. You know, with me, sometimes I say one more round and in fact it's not. There's more. So
I'll hold you to it this time.
We'll see. As we do these push-ups, you can also do these push-ups from the knees. Shorten the lever. Practice strong push-ups. We'd rather see the shorter lever in those knee push-ups than snake body
back.
or hurling yourself off the floor.
That's right. So we'll get down on the floor using that stance of parallel feet. So parallel feet, knees over toes, and lift the heels to sink low. And maybe this time try without hands. We'll still extend those hips through. We'll keep our number to 3 again. 3 seconds down, 1 second up, high tension, bum squeeze, core brace, and breathe. So grip the floor, nice high butt like Lauren said there, and pull yourself down for 3, 2, 1, and a full press up. Squeeze your butt cheeks, and up, tension up. Now focus on the abs this time. Brace it like you could take a punch, and last press. Wiggle your feet a little bit if you need to, walk your hands back, and just finish pushing through, grooving that hinge as well.
All right, as promised, it's time to introduce those cleans. We'll start with 2-handed cleans. We'll take away a hand to 1-handed cheat cleans.
Awesome.
And today we'll combine some cleans with our squats when the time is right. Let's first start with our 2-handed cleans. So we'll be standing right over top of our bell with the handle in parallel with our feet. First, the side that it's going to end up on, grip with that hand using your hinge. Grip. Second hand comes over top of that other hand and cuddles. Pack your shoulders, preload, pull the bell, and punch through, ending up in that rack position. It can't do that too slow-mo. When you're ready, let go with that second hand. We always check in in this rack position, ensuring we have a nice straight wrist, a vertical forearm, and tight to the chest. With 2 hands on the bell, it's like you're unzipping your coat. Keep it tight to the body, and then place the bell back in your hinge position. Let's stand up, let it go. Repeat the same thing on the same side one more time. Hinge, grip 1, cuddle 2, pull, rack, hold for 5, 4, 2, 2 hands on, place bell down. We'll repeat the same drill on the other side. When you're doing this first round, I want you to think both hips drive through as you bring the bell to the rack position. Here we go, hip hinge, grip 1, cuddle 2, pull, rack, hold for 3, square up to the front of the room, 2, root your feet, squeeze your cheeks, and then tight to the body on the down. Up without, 1 last 2-handed clean. Pull to rack, zip, hold, elbows in tight like you have $1 million bill in your armpit. Vertical forearm, nice straight wrist, 3. You could press out of this, 2, park the bell, place it down. Stand up without. Give that a little shake.
That's right. Shake it out for rest. And then let's just add another little exercise to that could include a kettlebell in the near future. Take an imaginary kettlebell and hold it in that rack position, snugged up with the shoulder blade back and elbow tip pointing down. Now, if this is a kettlebell, I like to put my other hand out to the side. Find a place that works for you. A double rack could be appropriate as well. From here, let's pull ourselves down and feel free to make room or change your stance of your squat. Now keep that imaginary kettlebell in tight, take a breath in, and brace on the core as we extend. Let's repeat that one more time. Pull the kettlebell tight to the body and pull yourself down to your deep squat. Hang out for a second, then take a breath, and find that full body tension to stay in. Switch it out. Maybe adjust your stance if you feel you need to. And again, same thing other side. In this imaginary rack, we have a vertical arm, elbow tip pointing down, and tight to the body. Take a breath at the top, zip in air, and pull yourself low. You might have let some air out, so zip in some more, and full stand to tall. Repeating one more time, it's this pulling energy as we descend in our squat, and a tension, push to stand. And a shake.
All right. Great squats. Now we're going to take away a hand in our clean and do a single arm clean, but we'll still be standing over top of that bell. If you prefer to work on your two-handed clean, please go back to that drill. If not, we're going to hinge, we're going to grip with one arm. Square up your other shoulder. Pack your shoulder, preload, then pull, punch through bell, get it to that rack position. Now to put it down, we have to keep it tight to the body, the shoulder packed back between the legs. Let's keep our grip, repeat again. Pull, punch, hold and rack, keep it tight. Park it, let's do one more. Pack shoulder, pull, punch, hold, and then hinge, put bell down, let go, up without. It's really hard to slow down a clean. So we can't slow this move down, but think about driving the hips through to get that bell up, and then also have a fairly firm but light grip on the bell. So as you're transitioning, you're gonna almost let go and punch through your kettlebell. And then on the down, a little bit of the same where you kind of let go so that bell can come around. Same thing, second side, 3. Square up your shoulders, pack, pull, punch. And then keep it tight, place it back down. Square up, pull, punch. And then keep it tight. Down one last time, pull, zip. And then park that kettlebell. Whew, up without.
Excellent. Let's practice one last time in that imaginary rack position for our squat. And Lauren likes that number 3, so maybe we should do 3 squats, as it will be our last time doing this today as well. So we have that imaginary kettlebell, double rack or out to the side. Breath in at the top and pull ourselves down. Find your perfect squat stance and tension to stand. Breath in on the down and to tall stand. And one last time in this imaginary rack position with that right hand for me and the rack, and then to tall. Easy on the off, little switcheroo, same thing other side. Armpits retracted, elbow tips point down, breath in on the down phase of our squat, and full body tension to stand. Repeating, we're pulling ourselves down and then pushing the feet away from center to stand. Keep your hands in rack, but sometimes those hands help. Feel a pull energy down and a push energy as we stand back up.
So over the past semester, even last semester, we've been finishing with some get-ups and presses, but don't go down to the floor yet. Before we do that, I think we should do one more round of I go, you go swings. Same amount as we did earlier, so 2 rounds, 5 each arm. For 20 total.
20 total brings us about 40 total swings on the day. Last time we did this workout, we did about 100 swings with 2 hands. But hey, we can't always go up, so let's just start by taking away a hand and decreasing the reps. That's 5 for Team Lauren, and our team is next.
And by last time, he means the end of last semester. So we built up to those 100 swings, just as we're going to maybe not do 100 in this, but ultimately put together our single arm swings, our cleans, and our squats.
And the press.
So stay tuned for the combo.
So this is 5 continuous swings again. We could as well shadow it with our own body weight, working on that timing of embracing the float and holding that integrity of the plank. But let's go. I think it looks great, feels good. Follow along.
We finished our first round. Team Ian's here finishing his second. Remembering you're swinging with one of us and taking a break in that off time. We're trying to work with that equal work to rest ratio. One more, well, that's a lot.
One more on each
round.
side, one more on each side. So it's 5. Those arms are straight at the elbows as much as they can be, and the shoulder blades again are retracted. The retracted shoulder blade connects the load to your core, the powerhouse.
Just as we talked about in the cleans, try to think about sending both hips in the forward direction, especially getting prepared for our cleans next week, where we'll be adding that swing with the clean. We want both hips to come through with us.
fire those hips. So this is the last set of firing those hips through with a kettlebell for today for that team. Lauren, this is about 3 reps, 2 more, and in a great way, they look the same as what we started with.
All right, team Ian, finishing up those swings. Take your time. As we're done, we're just getting ready now to do another set of get-ups. We'll try to do 4 again, 1 on each side, 1 on each side. But at the top of our get-up this time, we'll add those presses back in.
Excellent.
Maybe it's 1 press, maybe it's 2 presses. How many presses are you doing tonight?
I'm gonna start with 2.
2. All right, let's start with 2 on the first set and see where it takes us. If you feel like the bell you're doing a get-up with isn't suitable for you to press tonight, no problem. Do the get-up. Cuddle.
I'm under tension.
Roll. Press. Again, it's the hip drive pull. And then find the hand, squish the bug. A bridge, a sweep. A press to tall. Square up your lunge. So we stand up first. Create plank tension. Pull the bell down. Press the bell up. Pull the bell down. Press the bell up. Then get back down. Up, down. Down, up. Through your get up pattern. Take your time. Always finishing with that last move with control. Pull the bell down. Return it to the cuddle. Let go. Spin yourself around that bell.
Right round, spin round. And now we're on the other side. So as always, we'll start in the cuddle with that intention to press the top, roll, set up, and drive the hip, looking at that bell. We transition to the tall sit. A sweep follows, and then square up that lunge with no hands on the floor. Stand tall, zip in some air, high tension for your core, and a press. And again, hip, oh, little non-dominant hand there we go. And then lunge down, open your stance, find the floor, sweep with control, find the elbow, and ultimately find your back. 2 hands now.
Whoa, whew, how'd that go for you? So that was 2 get-ups down. We're hoping to do another 1 each side here. Was the number 2 a good number to press tonight?
I think so.
Are you gonna stick with the number 2?
It depends what my training partner is going to do.
I really like the number 3, so I think I'm gonna go to number 3
then I can
tonight.
chase 3 with you.
Okay, so at the top, 3-ish presses. You choose. The last round of get-ups here tonight. Spending time underneath this kettlebell will make you stronger in all aspects of life and kettlebell training. So take your time. If you're not pressing at the top, maybe you just try to stay here and hold the bell overhead in the time that we're finishing up our last press. And then get down, and that same beautiful pattern, 1 move at a time. And those presses just add a little bit more time underneath that load. Whew.
And I keep leaning towards this leaning plant back here.
I know the plant is,
Challenged today.
yeah.
Challenged.
I tried to rotate it so it would grow towards the window. I also gave it a drink too. But I think it might need a steak. And I don't mean a meat steak.
Oh, that sounds good though too. But here we are, we're focusing on the get up. We did our tall sit, we did our sweep, press away the floor, square up that lunge, tall stand. This is our last time press. Yeah. 1, Lauren. Wait for me on the 3rd. Oh, that's a hard place to wait.
You told me to.
1, 3. And then we'll take our time coming down. Look at the kettlebell. Sweep the leg. Finish slow to convince yourself it was easy, although hopefully it's not. And then 2 hands down. Give it a cuddle. Well, last time getting up, no hands if allowed.
So though sometimes these classes start a little slow, remembering we're building on our skills. Kettlebell is a practice, and we like to refine those skills and improve them as we go. Today we introduce that 2-handed clean, the single arm clean, and next week we'll take that single arm swing and turn it magically into a clean.
Excellent.
Where we'll then get to squat. So don't you worry, then you'll say, there's too many
And
squats.
I like cleans because they make me feel my abs. So
Right.
hopefully you feel strong, you feel abby and happy after a kettlebell practice.
So
Bars and bells. Yep.
So this was finishing week 2. On Thursday, we have week 2 on the other side of the room at the bar where we're pressing and working on our hip mobility. And then Saturday morning, we play with our strength, and all you need is your body weight and a little bit of space. Until then, check out our website, check out our
Patreon.
like and subscribe.
So get to the newsletter.
And until next time, take care,
Stay strong.
and we'll train soon.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.